Okay, so here's the tour of what's actually happening. I've got my MacBook that runs this piece of software called a text editor. This software is called Visual Studio Code or VS Code. I write in a language called JavaScript. All right, and this one code file runs in another piece of software called Node, and I can control Node from a terminal. This is a terminal. It allows me to type and run commands. And right now, it's telling the computer to send a signal over this wire to this microcontroller. This microcontroller is called an Arduino. It's got little plugs on it. When you plug stuff into it, you write code to control where the signal goes and how to receive signal from your sensors. This sensor is constantly looking for magnetic fields. So as we turn the magnet around inside the salad spinner, when it comes past the sensor, it will, let me see if I can get it here, or I don't know, there it is, it lights up. Okay, so now it's showing that there's a magnetic sensor near here, and it will report that back to my terminal. Once it comes into the terminal, I do some really bad math and tell it to calculate my revolutions per minute. So if we watch the output here, as I turn, it starts calculating 300 revolutions per minute. Go a little faster. I think I can get it up to like 400 sometimes. The math is real sloppy. There it is, 420. And then after I let go and it slows down, the readings will come back down to zero. So that's one part of the equation. The next part of the equation is running a web server on my laptop locally, right? To do that, I load up another piece of software called the server, and I run that in my terminal. Once the server turns on, it allows me to connect a web browser. Let's see if the web browser will open. It lets me do a web browser with a funny URL called localhost. And so now my web server that I wrote is sending a message every second to count up. And that is only on my local machine here. It's not out on the internet yet, but it's using internet protocols to send this message. Eventually what we can do is take the same code that I wrote here for the server and put it on a different computer on the internet that anyone on the public internet can access. In order to serve a web page, you need a HTML page, and so this code right here is what creates this, right? And what's technically happening is on the server, I'm using a technology called WebSockets. It creates an open connection between the browser and the server, and it will send events and data on whatever time interval I want. And so the server says, hey, here's some data, here's some data, here's some data. And then the client, the browser, says, oh, I love data, give it to me. And then we write some more code to show it on the screen. And that's why we got to get Linux on your laptop, so that you can have access to a tool like this, which you can't do natively on your Chromebook.